Let's see. Make sure I'm on the right mic. All right. Live, we're going. Yeah, Plasma, I heard about the Logan Paul situation. That was unfortunate, man. Right. I have a lot going on. See, screen here, screen here. A lot going on. This is my first time doing this sort of setup. So this part of it's an experiment, but I wanted to explain to you guys what I came across for turning a streaming PC into a streaming PC without having to buy a $150 Elgato capture card or whatever. That's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to see if a few more people want to trickle in, blast it out to a few communities, hopefully get some people in here and share this information. So before we get started, while we wait for people, guys, let me know where you're from. I'm talking to Plasma here. Got my chat right here, kind of almost on screen. In fact, I can pause this. All new. This is gonna be fun, and we'll get over to this stuff over here. We're in my dungeon. Lovely. In all of its fantastic glory. Got Star-Lord here, hanging out with us. Characters. Philippines, welcome. Cliff Villarreal. I guess Villa would be Spanish. Villarreal. Welcome, welcome. I have a brother-in-law that lived in the Philippines for a couple years. And he spoke Tagalog, but he was learning Wadi Wadi, I think. And he still speaks it. He always says Filipino and no idea what he's talking about, which is cool. He's held on to it for 15 years. Alright, I need you guys to do me a favor. I want to figure out what my delay is. So when I say Marco, I want you to say Polo as soon as you hear me say Marco. Okay? I think this will work. Making it up on the spot. Ready? Marco. Hey, Multicom. Welcome, welcome. Thank you. All right. So like a 12-second delay. That's about half of what it usually had. All right. Thanks, guys. So there's a few of you, and maybe I have to repeat this information if we get more people coming in. But so we're not doing any gaming stuff today. If you saw what the title is, I figured out, or I learned how to set up a streaming PC without having to get a capture card and spend the money on that. And what was particularly interesting to me for this is I game in 1440p, but spend 150 bucks on a streaming card, and then you're limited to 1080p 60. My monitor is only 60 hertz, but if I were to reroute it to the gaming card and then back to my monitor, I would lose that resolution. And so I was trying to find a way around it. There was some other ways to do it with changing, like mirroring your screen and this other stuff. Both saying same as you. Okay. So there's all these different ways to do it, but I found this and I really like it. Man. So I want to share with you guys what I was able to do. Now, obviously this only works if you have a PC that is decent enough to be able to handle some type of encoding. So my secondary PC is a i5 6500, 8 gigs of RAM, and it has a 3 gig GTX 1060. I experimented between the i5 6500 encoding and the GTX 1060 encoding, and I found that the NVENC encoding with the graphics card was much better. And if you're not familiar with OBS and what I'm talking about here, I won't be able to go in a ton of detail about learning about OBS. There's a lot of great resources out there, and I recommend that you check those out. So you will need some background with that, but hopefully if you're new to that, you can at least take this information, go read that, and kind of put 2 and 2 together and be up and running. All right. Itchy nose, itchy nose. So the links are going to be in the video description. We have 2 basic links today. OBS, if you're not already using it, already have it downloaded. And other tool I already forgot. It's in the video description. NDI something, brother. You download the 4.2 your system and you're good. So here's what you need. All right. So you need your regular gaming PC with OBS, and you need a streaming PC also with OBS. You're going to download OBS on both, and then that plugin, you're going to download that your OBS, and there's instructions on that page about where to extract it and everything, so I recommend that you check that out. But you extract it to your OBS plugins folder on both machines, right? And so here's what's going on. Let me kind of give you a general understanding of what's going on. I'll keep checking the comments if you guys have any questions. Now we have a face for the voice. Yeah, Rich Dog. Some of my older videos, you know, you can see my face, but I haven't shown it out of camera. I'm actually getting it. Was I Rich Dog? You threw me off, man. So let me give you an overall view. You generally have your gaming PC, then you have a cable that goes to your card, your capture card on your streaming PC. It receives that input, processes it, sends it out to YouTube, back to your monitor so that you can see what's actually going on. You have to buy extra equipment and that stuff. What we're doing here is we are going to be using your network to send that signal over via OBS. Woo! Excuse me. And so the way we do that is you have to have gigabit Ethernet. Most modern motherboards have it, so that's not a problem. You don't have a gigabit router. You don't have to have gigabit speeds from your ISP, just internal to your network. You can get a gigabit switch from Netgear for like, I don't know, 20, 25 bucks or something. Real cheap. And so that's what I have going on right now, a Netgear switch, both Cat6 cables or Cat5e hooked up to your Ethernet or your switch, your gigabit switch, so that they can see each other on the network really easy. So that's what you need. Gaming PC, streaming PC, Ethernet, gigabit to a switch or a router. You don't have to just have it on a switch. They just have to be on the same network at gigabit. Audio cuts out sometimes. Let me fix that. I'm really sorry if you are not hearing things. And I can fix that because I've been experimenting. Alright, that should fix that. When I play, my mouse does this because my sensitivity is so low. It bounces around a lot, and so I was playing with stuff to be able to filter out that noise, so sorry about that. But you shouldn't have any interruptions anymore. Okay, man, I hope you guys didn't miss a whole lot. So, gaming PC, streaming PC, gigabit Ethernet on the same network. Okay? So that's where we're going to start. So what I have set up here is OBS showing obviously my screen. And let me hop over to my actual desktop so you can see what's going on there. Okay, here's OBS in all of its glory. I'll turn off the preview so that you don't have to see that. Once you have OBS downloaded and that NDI plugin in the proper place, you'll have to reset your computer. And when you open up OBS, up here in the Tools section, you'll see this NDI output settings. It's for a few seconds at most. Oh, crud. Sorry about that, guys. So NDI output settings. You click on that. Let me bring it over. Let me close this VLC and all this other garbage I got going on. And this is what you see. You see this checkbox, enable NDI output. And output name, I name mine game because it's my gaming PC. You just click this. Mine's obviously already clicked. You install the plugin, you click that, you hit OK. You don't have to worry about settings, start streaming, any of that stuff. Because what that plugin does is it takes everything in this window. I'll enable it again. So no matter what you have going on, it takes that and throws it on the network. Just blasts your network, and it blasts it pretty hard. If I bring over my task manager, you can see 209 megabits per second, 210 megabits per second. So that video is being thrown out to your network in very high quality and really easily. Now mine's using about 15% of my CPU and GPU compared to what happens when I stream. That's nothing. That's really nothing. It's not encoding. That's just what it takes for it to be able to send that signal out. And when I turn off the display, the GPU saves a little bit, 1 or 2%. So that's step one. Gaming PC, tools, you hit that NDI output, and it sends it out. Highest quality possible. Everything that is seen in this main image is being broadcast to your network. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the streaming PC. Okay? on the streaming PC, Mixlux. Hey, Mixlux. Hope I said that right. First time I've seen you. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. All right, so we are on the streaming PC now. I have OBS open, and you can see the NDI output. I have it already set up. And then you just use this like a normal streaming PC. You add your source, which in this case is going to add this NDI source. So if I click it and add another source, which actually won't do, I'll just edit this one. When you add another source, it'll see your game. My computer's name is Brave Little Toaster because the old case I had was the Thermaltake V21, and on the box it looks like a toaster. Well, it looks like a microwave, but I thought it looked like a toaster, so I named it Brave Little Toaster. Anyway, so you click on the source. Right now I have audio only because I'm on my streaming PC, but I'm using the mic from my gaming PC. So when I'm on this scene, I wanted to make sure that you guys could still hear me, so I'm just pulling the audio. But you would grab the video, and I'll show that in a second. Actually, that's what you're seeing already. So you select highest is that 200 megabits per second. Lowest will be lower. It's like 50, I think, but highest should be just fine. I tested the two, and Mixlux. Okay, thanks, Mixlux. I tested the two, and I didn't see much of a difference in CPU usage. So just leave it on highest. And then allow for hardware acceleration. Sync is going to be internal. Click OK. And now this is going to receive everything from your main desktop. Oh, and actually just got rid of the source. Let me go back. I wanted it on bandwidth audio only. So you can see it overrode those settings. So then you just treat your streaming PC. Oh, now it's not wanting to show what I need to show. Give me just a second. Let me pull back. There we go. It kind of overrid it for a second. So now you just treat your streaming PC like any regular streaming PC. You set your settings. You can see I'm streaming right now. And you go. When you want to edit your mic volume and all that kind of stuff, you do that on your primary machine. So if I switch back, do it on your primary machine here, and it carries over to your new machine. And then this thing uploads and does all the dirty work for you. And that's it. So it's pretty straightforward. If I can recap, gaming PC. Once you have that tool downloaded and installed, you set it to output everything, and it blasts everything to your streaming PC. You just have to add the source. Just like you would add normal sources, you know, camera capture, image, or whatever you're doing, desktop capture. You can see I'm doing display capture right now, and the audio is over it. You select that source, and it sees it, and then you set your settings appropriately, set it to YouTube or Twitch or whatever service you're using, and it blasts it out. And that's it. So you don't have to spend, you know, $150 on a card. And let me get to the resolution point that I wanted to get to. If we go into settings, go to video, it's receiving my 2560 by 1440 signal, and then it's downscaling it to that 1080-60 so that you guys can see it. And that way, you know, I don't have to throw away my nice monitor to force myself to game at 1080-60 for the sake of an Elgato capture card. Really simple, really easy and elegant way to be able to see everything. And that's it. Then you're up and running. If I were to open a game here, let me show you. Go to scene. I'm going to pull this off to the side on one of my other monitors. Open up a game. And for anyone who's watched me play for a while, you've known that I've had issues with Shadowplay. I've had it crash, and then I had to start a new stream. Audio issues. So I've been wanting to use OBS for a while, but I couldn't get it to work reliably on my system while I'm playing. My system's pretty good. I mean, overclocked i7 4770K, GTX 1078 gig overclocked as well. It's a good system, but it was just a little bit too much. But now I can use OBS, and I can actually control my audio volume. So I can have my desktop. Let's see if it'll let me. I can turn my desktop sounds up or down. I can make my mic quieter, or I can make my mic a whole heck of a lot louder, so I can customize everything to what works for me. What's the difference between one PC streaming and two Rob Waller? Let me tell you. In order to stream, what has to happen... Oh, my letters are missing. I've seen that. What has to happen is... let me go to my other scene so you can kind of see me as I explain. So what has to happen is your computer takes that image, and it's way too much information to send to YouTube or Twitch. Way too much. So it has to compress it. And that's why the quality goes down and the audio quality. It does all these different things to compress that image so that it can be sent over your internet to that service. But that takes up a lot of CPU power or graphics card power, depending on if you're using a graphics card or your CPU to encode that information. It takes a lot of that, which takes away from your gameplay potentially. If you're using a newer Ryzen system, because they have so many CPU cores, you can be live encoding on a Ryzen machine and playing at the same time, and it can do it no problem, and that's great. But some people like me have maybe a little bit of legacy hardware, a second computer in my case, and their main computer just isn't quite up to snuff to be able to handle that sort of task. That's right, Mixlax. I can do a quick review if you'd like. So that's why you want a second PC. You offload that data, all that video, image, and audio information to a second PC that handles all that. So in my case, it's back over here. It's going to handle all of that, and then that's what sends it up to the internet without my gaming PC having to take too much of a hit. Now, it still has to, in this case, do some processing just to send the signal, but sending a signal is much easier than trying to encode. So hopefully that answers your question. What to download in GitHub? Let me open that up for you. Let me get out of this game. Dude, I had 2 back-to-back wins with my buddy in duos. Oh, it was such good chicken dinner. My goodness. Sorry, let me open it up real quick. Let me actually do Firefox. You gonna work for me? Let's copy it again. Copy and paste. So once you have OBS downloaded, assuming you're using Windows, this guy right here, OBS NDI 4.2 Windows Installer EXE. So you're gonna click on that, save the file, run through the installer like normal, and you're good. I'm gonna scroll down. Then NDI. If you get one of these, so WebRoots is like, hey, I don't like this, it's fine. It's just, it doesn't have, a lot of antiviruses don't have enough information on it to recognize it as, you know, a regular file. So totally fine, trust me. I've checked the processes, nothing fishy's going on. NDI runtime not found. Look into Synergy. That's exactly what I'm using. I was actually going to talk about that. My computer over here. So I have my mouse on my main machine that I'm broadcasting on. Oh, duh. My face, my big ugly face is over everything. So you can't see what I'm looking at. I'm going to pull this over. There we go. So my mouse is on one machine. And now it's on the other machine. Synergy is amazing. If you have 2 machines and you're not using it, use it. All right, let me go back. So, sorry about that. Yeah, you should just install it from here. Yeah, Ryzen 1700, sweet Bob, or Rob, sorry, Rob Waller. So you should be good. Ryzen 1700 is a great chip. If you're not overclocking it, I recommend you do it. It's free power. All motherboards support it. All Ryzen chips support it. So overclock it, and then you're good to go, man. So once you install this, let's see. I'll just go ahead and save it and walk through, and I won't complete it because I've already done it. Alright, so it's like, hey, I don't like this. So I am going to open the file. Let's see if it'll let me do it. I already did it once, but... Oh, come on, WebRoot. I've already gotten it once. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 cup, sorry. Crunching on ice. I'm an ice cruncher. Oh, it's not going to let me do it. So you have to bypass in your antivirus if your antivirus gives you a false positive. And then you should just walk through the steps and you should be good. NDI runtime not found. McSlacks. And you're getting that off of the Windows installer. Because all I had to do is run this, go through the command prompts, and I was good to go. Let me try again. Save file. Then I'm going to go into my web root settings and allow that file. PC security block allow. Where are you? I think it's one of these. Yeah, it's this one. Allow. Yeah, I think that and that. Because I did it 3 times, of course. And then I'm going to run a scan just so web root feels a little happier. And then open it up. I'm going to try to download it so I can see what's going on with what you've got. Dang it, my system removed it. So, sorry I don't have the means to be able to troubleshoot that right now. You can check the frequently asked questions on the, or check the wiki. Let's see, issues. There's 23 issues. So you can go through these, see if there's something that can solve your problem. Unfortunately, that's beyond the scope of what I'm doing here. I'm looking into a camera and realize that I don't have my camera up. That's the kind of stuff that I need to learn with OBS, is how to properly move around my scenes and all that kind of stuff. So sorry we can't go through that in this right here. Have it overclocked to 3.8. Sweet. All right, good. Glad you're doing that, Rob. Awesome. And okay, kind of got mixed up there at the end, but what questions do you guys have? Is there anything you want me to go over? Any questions you have for me with, I mentioned I'd be happy to talk about OBS and Shadowplay. Any questions at all that you guys have that you would like answered at this point in time? Looks like there's a few of you watching now. Got 10 people in the room. Thank you all. Any questions at all? Or anything that you need me to go back over? I'm really glad that I figured this out, because I got on the phone with my brother and had him watch my stream outside my network, and it looked much better. When I try to watch it inside my network, it's just, there's too much going on my network, and I think it loses some of the quality, even if I'm at 1080/60. So I had him as my reference for outside the network. What's my Steam ID? Not giving that out right now. NDI runtime not found. Sad. I don't know what that is, man. I'm sorry. Just hop on the Google. I'm sure someone's got that solved somewhere. And that's from the Windows installer thing. I don't know, man. Man, that's a bummer. But yeah, just try to do a little research. If I find anything, maybe I'll throw down a comment on this video for what I find. So I'll let you know if that happens. Or just check the replay. And I think that's about all I've got. Does anybody have any questions about anything? Channel's doing a lot of stuff right now. Have a lot of things planned. I've been planning this 1,000 sub thank you stream for the longest time. It's going to happen. I just don't know when. Got a lot of stuff going on right now. But it's going to happen. Do your streaming have to be beefy? I have an old Dell workstation with a quad-core Xeon in it. Can I use that as a streaming PC? I would say give it a shot. Yeah, there is no harm in giving it a shot. So what you want to do on that is the X264. Let me pull that over. You can see what I'm talking about. When you stream and you set your encoder, make sure mine's set on NVNC H264. There's another option. It won't let me change it right now because I'm in the middle of this output session. Change it to X264, and that's your CPU to process instead of your GPU, and give it a shot. If you already got it and you have the gigabit Ethernet, it's free to try. Give it a shot. Have someone check your live stream to see how well it looks. And, you know, maybe. But if you have a Ryzen 1700, I can't imagine you would need to do that, because that's what, 8 cores, 16 threads. And any game is only going to use 4 cores anyway. So on your Ryzen 1700, you already have 4 available cores and 4 available threads. So you're probably okay. But that'd be a cool experiment just to see if it's worth anything. So I'd give it a shot. Let's see. Anything else? Anything else? Looks like that's about it. Trying to think if there's anything else. I mean, do you guys have questions about Shadowplay or getting started with streaming? Anything like that, you know, let me know in the comments or in the chat. Otherwise, I'll close this puppy out. Some updates to the channel. I know there's only 9 of you, and the 1,400 people are probably all going to want to know this. I am going to be doing a channel name change. I have some ideas for what I'm going to change it to. Nothing solid yet. So if you ever all of a sudden see something gone in your YouTube subscriptions and you know this isn't there anymore, don't be alarmed. Just stay tuned, and you know, I'll let you guys know what it is before that happens well in advance. I'll probably do 3 or 4 videos saying, hey, and by the way, I'm going to be changing my channel name at this time. So you know, just stay tuned and you won't miss a thing. All right, I think that's it for me today, guys. I have more coming out this week. I had some people ask me to do a walkthrough of my gaming setup. If I could attempt to steal this camera, hopefully it doesn't make you guys nauseous. So my setup with my main system, my main display, not my Guardians of the Galaxy cup, you know, keyboard, just everything I got going on. That's my streaming PC down there. I've had some people ask me to do a walkthrough of everything, and so I'm going to do that. But it's going to come with a bit of a twist. I am something of a bargain hunter, and so everything I got, I paid less than half of what, if you were to go buy it right now, I got it all for less than half of that, and I've had it all for a little bit of time now, some of it anyway. And so not only am I going to give a walkthrough for those that are interested, but I'm going to tell you how I got some of these deals and kind of give you a little bit of background of my setup. I should name it. Most YouTubers have a name for their systems, but I don't. So maybe one day. And that's it. So if you guys missed anything, this will automatically be uploaded, and you know, you can review that information. So please feel free to do that. Hopefully it helps you out. Hopefully you can utilize this information and be able to actually you know, get better looking streams. If you already have that hardware laying around, like that 4-core laptop, I have another laptop with a GTX 1060 and an i7 in it. So you know, if I ever needed to, I could use that. It actually scores better than this desktop down here, so I could use that if I wanted to, and it's, you know, a little bit better on the power draw. But so maybe, oh, that's right, the GTX 1060 is a little bit slower because of that. But anyway, there's options, right? If you have a laptop that you think could do it, if it has an i7 processor or a decent discrete graphics card, give it a shot. It's free. If you have the equipment already there, give it a shot. This is all free. So that's kind of the point of why I wanted to do this. I figured it out recently. I'm going to be utilizing it. It's going to change how I stream. And in case anyone else is in the same situation, I wanted to share that with you guys. So you've been using, and GPU, Rob, isn't a bad thing. McSlacks, I am from Colorado, so it's cold. Rob Waller, GPU isn't a bad thing. That's actually what I use. I tried the i5 6500 on my streaming PC. It just wasn't up to snuff compared to the GTX 1060. I got better results. I can do more tweaking to see if there's a way to fix that, but in my case, I couldn't maintain a stable 60 FPS on that CPU. And it's a newer gen. I mean, it's 6th gen. I guess it's 2 years old technically, but it's a nice CPU. But just a GTX 1060, 3 gig at that, though I don't think the VRAM really has a lot to do with it, just did so much better. So no problem with the GPU. It's just all about where's your bottleneck at, you know. So so that's it, guys. Thanks so much for coming by. Be doing more live streams. I want to do more of these kind of techie, get your computers, get the game to work for you. If you're new here, I do a lot of, you know, FPS boost guides and reshade guides, because that's kind of my whole focus of this channel. There's a lot of excellent gamers out there. Wacky Jackie's one of my favorite, #1 in the EU on first-person servers. I mean, just these great players, Shroud, all these guys. I don't have those skills, so this is the value that I try to bring. More of the technical side, try to help the game work for you as best as possible. What's the thing behind me? Which one? This guy? This is Star-Lord from the first Guardians of the Galaxy. This is my stack of Google Home Minis. This is my old monitor, HP Z34C that I'm going to be trying to sell. Bunch of supplies, rubbing alcohol, spray cans, stuff like that. I have a whole lab down here with it's a computer graveyard. So, all right, that is it for me today, guys. I'm gonna go before my voice gets any worse. I've been sick for the last few days, and so thanks for stopping by. This is Mike with Things You Might Like, and I'll see you guys with my next cool thing. Thanks, guys. Come on over and stop stream.